Hi, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the final Lord's Guard video in my little mini series. Maybe I'll do another one down the line, but I'm pretty sure I have to do a live stream to talk about all this stuff later. So yeah. But before I do any of that, I have to say, hi, welcome to something to talk about. My name is Taco. The rumors are true. That is my name, not my real name. That's the one what I'm giving you. Why, officer? Is there something wrong? Why do you gotta know my name? All right. So, welcome to my final one. So we're covering the Reach. I've saved the most I don't know the we know a lot of knights from the Reach. You know the Reach is very knighty. So I thought we should save them for last. I really didn't do this in really any real order. I'm not a smart person. All right. What if each of the High Lords had a Kingsguard? We're going with Knights of the Green Hand is what I'm naming this. So I did do a poll and asked people what I should name it, and Knights of the Green Hand won pretty handedly. Some people kind of had pushback, but I like it. It's like an homage to Order of the Green Hand, and it could be a separate thing. Maybe it's the Tyrells trying to be like, hey, look, we're just like the Gardeners. Hey, don't worry about us. I know we're not the Gardeners, but because this would have happened right after the conquest, is right when they, formed their Lord's Guard a couple years later after the King's Guard were formed. A 7 AC, I think, and then these guys then everybody would start forming their Lord's Guard in this fake universe, and then maybe for hey, we're just we're like you, we're old knights of the Green Hand. I don't know, it made sense. All right, so what's going on here? Why am I rambling? So just like all my vids, I don't edit. I like the feel of me just talking at you with all the imperfections and a tad of improv that are just a normal conversation would have. I don't want to go into all this. This is the last one. So just can you pause to read that last paragraph if you've never been here before? But for a little more, think that everyone forms this Kingsguard at the beginning of the book. So this all takes place at the beginning of the books. And also, I'm going to play with modern history to get to justify when these people were to join, but I'm not going way back in the day, oh, a Hightower would have right away, and that way the Dance of Dragons never happened. I'm not doing any of that, okay? But besides that, they do follow the same rules of the Kingsguard, they can't inherit anything, so on and so forth. And yeah, this I think the Reach would be the most staunch in their rules, right? So I was very staunch in the rules when I was coming up with the Reach. They need to be knights, no bastards, and of course no women. Unlike Dorne in the north, where the rules are going to be a lot more who cares, right? I think these guys would be pretty, staunch. So starting off, let's go. Enough of an intro. A fan favorite, maybe? I like him. A lot of people don't like him because he's kind of a butt, but he's kind of likable. We got Sir Hyle Hunt. I love Hyle Hunt. Yes, the guy that follows around Brienne and feasts. I think he joins the Lord's Guard after he saved Samuel Tarly from drowning. If you forgot that happened, he did that. He saved Samuel Tarly for drowning. One of two characters that have saved Samuel Tarly from drowning. I've covered both. All right, in my other series. I'm sure Lord Randall Tarly doesn't care if Sam died, but maybe just for appearance sake, he puts a good word into Mace about Hyle and gives him a spot. So what by that I mean Hyle maybe saved him, and then he's like, oh, maybe I want to become a Lord's Guard, join the Knights of the Green Hand. Since I saved your son, will you put in a word for me for Mace Tyrell? There's a good chance that he doesn't. He's like, yeah, you saved Sam. You didn't save my dog or my couch or anything I care about. You saved Samuel Tarly. Pretty low in the totem pole at Horn Hill, right? But maybe he then just to look good does it. Maybe not. But even if he doesn't, Hyle can just go right and then make his own thing. Like, hey, I did this. Maybe there's a way he can political it up the ladder and get him a spot. Or maybe he just gets a spot anyways, right? he really wants to bring honor to his small house. That's like his whole thing about trying to marry Brienne. The House of Hunt. And the Lord's Guard might be a spot to do that. Like he's trying to marry Brienne of Tarth for reasons. And one of them is like House Hunt ain't nothing, right? So maybe instead of going the route of trying to woo somebody who hates him, after he does that horrible wager, which we're going to get into for another character right after this one, actually, maybe he is trying to, in this universe, tries to get glory for his house by joining the Knights of the Green Hand. So there you go. There's my pitch for Hyle Hunt. Keep in mind, your guys' list is going to be very different. This is all just opinion for me. It's kind of a dumb little exercise, dumb little video. If yours is different, let me know how it's different. I will respect your choices if you respect mine. I'm trying to be better at taking criticism. That's something I've been working on. All right. This guy's got the same name as mine, not name that I tell you guys. I do tell you guys my name's Mark. This guy's also Mark. Sir Mark Mullendore. I know, another knight that had that gross wager on Brienne. But many of those guys fit the bill of young knights from smaller houses looking for honor. It just happens that they're all D-bags. He isn't the heir of Uplands. What's Uplands? What's up, Lands? Uplands? That's where he's from. It's called Uplands. Why did they call that? Is it just like a hill? And they're like, we're going up. Where? The Uplands. House Uplands. House Mullendore. He has a relation. So he's not the heir of Uplands. I'll just start all over. And his relation to that lord is unknown. But we do know that he has ambition and is ambitious and stands out with his pet little monkey. He makes the court laugh, and that may be all it needs, right? It'll be a better fate than the main books, hopefully. So yeah, maybe just him going to court, getting everybody to like his little monkey, and he has a little fight with some people around, and he's like, "Hey, House Mullendore from Uplands, it's a big house. Can I join?" So yeah, I'm thinking it's kind of the same reasons as Hyle Hunt, of trying to just get glory, kind of a young knight, a knight of summer. And that's kind of a really big theme throughout my entire Knights of the Green Hand is so many of these guys are knights of summer. They're all knights who have never seen war, and they all play at war. And most of these guys, not all of them, but most of them kind of fit that bill. And I think Mark Mullendore 100% does. And yeah, it might save him from that horrible things that happened to him in the main books. He loses his arm, his monkey dies, he gets wrapped up in all of Cersei's conspiracies, and now he's sitting in the black cells. It's awful. It might have a better fate. Maybe not. Maybe it might be the exact same fate if he was a Lord's Guard. Okay, so let's get a Fossoway. Y'all want apples? Y'all like apples? You like these apples? How do you like them apples? All right, House Brian Fossoway. Brian Fossoway is a knight from House Fossoway of Cider Hall. That's the red apples, by the way. A young knight from an important house. We really don't know too much about him, but I like him thanks to him being a red apple Fossoway. We need a Fossoway, right? And knowing he is active during the War of the Five Kings, because we know he's part of the Battle of Blackwater and some other stuff. His name's around, but he's not like one of the ones who differentiates himself. He's not part of the wager for Brienne. He doesn't join the Rainbow Guard, so he doesn't really get too known in the books. But we do know that he's there and he's fighting, right? Just because he doesn't join the Rainbow Guard or is part of an awful wager that Brienne has to go beat him up during a melee doesn't mean that he's not cool. Okay. So yeah, maybe if he becomes a Knight of the Green Hand, will prevent him from getting eaten by Lothar Brune in the Battle of the Blackwater. Yeah, he's one of the Fossoways that Lothar Apple Eater Brune defeats in the Blackwater, kills. So maybe that might save him. I don't know why I keep trying to save these guys from their fates from the main books in this weird continuity we're coming up with, me and you together right now. Start writing it, all right? I'm not going to write it. That's all I'm doing. It's up to you personally, you, Fred, to to write this fan fiction. So yeah, Red Apple Fossoway. We don't know too much about him, but I like him. All right, now this is a much bigger house than House Fossoway. And House Fossoway is a big house, but they ain't this big. They ain't House Hightower. Sir Garth Hightower. You need at least one Hightower, and these guys are super important and powerful house with very little representation in the main books. With a great nickname, Greysteel. It's a great nickname. Dude is a knight of House Hightower and the second son of Lord Leighton Hightower. So he is not the heir, and his older brother does have other heirs, like he's very much going to be the heir. All we know is that during the main books, he is training troops in Old Town in preparation of the Ironborn attacking. That tells us that he is a good fighter and a commander. I think he's a fantastic pick for the Knights of the Green Hand. Absolutely. I think some people could make an argument for him for Lord Commander. I got a better Lord Commander, but he very well could have been at one point before the other Lord Commander came along. If that's how it works, probably not. But anyways, I think Garth Hightower is fantastic. Older, really proud knight, doesn't really have a place in his area. He's not an heir. He's he's looking for his own spot, and this might be a really good place for it. All right, moving on. Isn't it crazy I haven't thrown a Rainbow Guard at you guys yet? Well, that's changing right now. Sir Parman Crane, our first Rainbow Guard of the group. That doesn't automatically get him to the Knights of the Green Hand, but it helps. It shows me that they are willing to join such a group. The Rainbow Guard, Knights of the Green Hand, both are like Lord's Guards, right? Well, Rainbow Guard's kind of a Kingsguard. Well, it is. Whatever. What helps is Parman isn't the heir to Red Lake and that he is unmarried. I think that he is a shoo-in. Let's hope his Lord Commander doesn't try to kill him this time and eventually lock him in the dungeons. Yeah, that's how it ends. The main book, he gets locked up. But yeah, I mean, I love Parman Crane. Who doesn't, right? You guys like Parman Crane? He's the purple one, but you'd probably be wearing green, the Knights of the Green Hand. All right, so next one is also a Rainbow Guard dude, and that is Sir Emin Coy. Yet another Rainbow Guard, just like Parman, he isn't the heir to his house, nor is he married. So according to Hyle Hunt, he is a rash fighter who tires easily. So maybe he won't make it too long. I like to picture him in all green with the yellow sunflowers of his house all over his armor. That would look fantastic. Yeah, I kind of like him just because I think the armor will look really cool. Also because he's Rainbow Guard, so we know that he's keen again, just like Parman Crane. And let's hope, like Parman, he sees a shoe-in. And again, let's hope that he has a better fate and Loras doesn't kill him this time. Yeah, he got murked by his own Lord Commander. Parman got away and then got locked in the dungeons. But not Emin Coy. He got murked. Let's hope his faith is a little better. But yeah. So as you see, I did kind of a theme. A lot of these knights are younger, except for Garth Hightower. And a lot of them are Knights of Summer. Garth Hightower kind of is, but he's not the younger type. He's an older guy, and maybe he's a little less hungry for glory. Maybe when he joined, he was more hungry for glory. But most of these guys carry that theme of playing at war, tourney knights, if you will. And I picked a Lord Commander who 100% personifies that. It's probably the predictable choice, but it's predictable for a reason, right? And yeah, so if some people are mad about it, tell me who you think should be the Lord Commander. But I really felt like there was one choice, and if I didn't go with it, I feel like more people would have been mad that I didn't. So yeah, it's Loras Tyrell, the Lord Commander, Loras Tyrell. I know it's obvious, but it's obvious for a reason. The Knight of Flowers is a hothead who cares about glory and his family. So he ran the Rainbow Guard as Lord Commander to stay close to his sister Marjorie and his lover Renly. And then even after Renly's death, he joins the actual Kingsguard to protect his sister, showing us that she is all the motivation he needs to join, which might be enough reason to join, the Knights of the Green Hand. He would be given a spot in the Knights of the Green Hand as soon as he is knighted. And either he takes the Lord Commander spot from the last guy, which is probably Garth, or the last one just died, leaving the open. Yeah, I don't know if you can really switch Lord Commanders out. Maybe you can get away with it with the Lord's Guard, especially since Mace is in charge of this. because it's his guard, right? It's his dad. So maybe nepotism can get him in. And if you don't like that, then we'll just say that the last, Lord Commander just died. So he joins, Lord Commander just dies, and then he gets up. But I think the second the Lord Commander spot's open, he becomes Lord Commander, or they just take it from the last guy, who's most likely Garth, because Party on Garth, is like probably the most qualified out of the guys I've already talked about. But Loras would definitely win because of nepotism. Welcome to the world. Yeah, so I would like to see how this changes the story, of course. Like the main story, I feel like this would change it a lot. And I also like how he represents the Knights of Summer, just like a majority of these knights. You might not like this pick, but I do stand by it, and I do. And yeah, he's like the Knight of Summer, right? He's all about glory. He's all about Knight of Flowers and being the dude from the stories when he so isn't, right? That's kind of his thing, is he's like, oh, he's like the beautiful prince from the stories, but he's like this hothead who cheats at tourneys and freaking murks people for just getting him, for screwing up. Granted, those guys did, not protect Renly, but it's not their fault. Of course, Loras doesn't know that, but it's still bad touch to just kill your own guys. So, yeah, I do think these guys are rather doomed because Knights of the Summer are doomed, but I think as for the time before the War of the Five Kings, when this is all made, I feel like this young knights hungry for glory and Garth Hightower totally fits, right? So, yeah, there you guys go. Thank you for watching this whole series. If you did, go back and watch. I covered everywhere besides the Crownlands, which I'm still contemplating if I should or not. Yeah, I'm most likely going to do a live stream to discuss all this. When I'm filming this, I'm filming it rather in advance, so I don't know when I'm going to do that live stream, but I'm sure it's out there and you guys know about it as of now if you want to. So yeah, thank you guys a ton for watching. This series was really fun, and for the most part, it seemed like you guys really digged it. So thank you for all your support. All your comments are telling me your guys' list, helping me out naming, because oddly naming these were harder than actually coming up with the people in them. And yeah, for the most part, you guys were really supportive and respectful. And, that's awesome. I everyone who's watching, I appreciate. So click like. I'm kidding. All right. Thank you. And yeah, I got nothing else to say. Peace.